What up? This is your boy Tank. Catch me on the 200th episode, 200 of the Bootleg Kev podcast. It's gonna be crazy. This is R&B money.
Bootleg Kev podcast, Bootleg Kev show, special guest, episode number 200.
200.
Come on now. Let's get it.
200.
I feel like an ass. I'm the only one not clapping. My bad.
And it's only right, on episode 200, we have a legend. And I appreciate this legend because his new album is out right now.
I appreciate him too, but I used to hate your ass at one point in time because you was that guy in my relationship where every time you came on the radio, I'm like, here go your nigga, babe. here you go.
But he brought his physical CD.
Physical.
We got a physical album.
Come on now.
I brought physicals.
Yes. Look
You know
at this.
I don't even know if y'all have a CD player. I brought physicals.
You just gotta take it out the case and start
Take it
playing
out
by
the case.
itself,
We
right?
gotta take it out. I gotta see
Crack
what it's looking like. I haven't opened one of these in a minute.
I still haven't opened one.
Oh,
I've
you-
just
so you
been
don't
looking
even-
at them.
okay.
This is going to be the first.
Let's see what the CD looks like. We're gonna open. See if we got thank yous on the inside.
Like, listen to what, you hear that?
I kind of missed that. I
That's
ain't gonna
plastic paper, guys.
How hard the plastic is.
Okay.
Look, you see the opening?
We got the album.
There's a CD, people.
There's
Look
a
at that.
CD.
That's
It's
what we used to play in our cars.
It's not a.
Yeah.
Now, this is the difference, though. Is now instead of a booklet to look through,
It's QR.
Come on.
you got a QR to get the thank yous.
Yeah.
I see you.
Now listen, there has to be compromise.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? In this new age that we're in, so I fought to press these up.
I love it.
But there had to be some compromise on the amount of paper material that went into.
Was it a tough fight to put the CD out though? Over just
Man, he's on Atlantic. They got a
No,
factory.
it wasn't a tough fight.
Oh, okay.
But I am an artist that still sells physical CDs.
okay. Hey,
So and I have a lot
that
of people
says a lot right
they ask
there.
me for vinyl and they ask me for CDs.
Vinyls
still
are popping right
Yeah,
now.
vinyls are cracking.
Yeah, like
Cracking.
if you ain't selling vinyl as an artist, you're tripping.
it's crazy. I prefer vinyl over CD right now.
Do you have a? You don't even have a record player.
I do have a vinyl player.
You have a record player?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you
I don't
get it.
use it.
You know what?
But I got it.
So listen, man, this is your final album.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to just hang it up?
Well, the thing that made me want to transition,
Because you got the
Was-
R&B Money podcast. That's
R&B Money podcast,
amazing.
R&B Money label. Started with the R&B Money label.
Okay.
And that was just an alert. R&B makes money. You want to make money in R&B? Come to R&B Money. We understand it. We know the blueprint. We got it. But the thing that kind of prompted my transition to happen, I think maybe a little bit faster than I had thought I would orchestrate it, was just, kind of going deaf, my right ear and some of my left, and then the vertigo, and then just that journey and challenge that I went through medically, which kind of made me look at time differently.
Right.
I wasn't purposely procrastinating. I was just taking the steps, maybe a little bit more cavalier or more casual than I am now, because it's like you look at the legacy and you look at all the goals and the things that you want to accomplish, and just being on stage and taking my shirt off, singing in front of thousands, of women, that's not the end goal. Right. The end goal for me has always been to give that back. You know what I mean? To establish a foundation where singers, songwriters, and producers could go and get their opportunity at a 20+ year career, and that I could help facilitate that in some way, shape, or form. That's always been the end goal. So, the album process takes a lot of time away from that.
Right.
This is years in the making. Then a tour has to go along with it.
Right.
All of these things, and it just keeps me away from that other thing that I really want to get to.
The other mission.
The mission. And then acting. So, I do act. I have appeared on a bunch of stuff, but I haven't been able to put the time into it.
It's something you got to really apply yourself to.
You have to.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to.
You can't half-ass it.
The casting directors have to know that you're available and that you're not going to go on tour in the middle of shooting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, we
That
got to
makes
pick days when he's available and only shoot those days. They don't want to deal with that.
Right.
They want to know that the actor is available for whatever needs to be done. That's it and that's all. And so I have to get off this road, get off this bus, get off this plane, and sit down and build these things in order for my goals,
Right.
to be fulfilled.
Yo, going deaf in one of your ears as an artist, does that change anything about your process? Like, do you because it feels like obviously that's such an important component of
For sure.
of music.
Gotta be scary too, to be honest.
It's scary at first,
Right.
Right, because it's like I no longer hear in stereo. You know what I mean? It's all, and then how do you process all of the information in one ear? You know what I'm saying? From music to voice to people talking, to stuff moving, it's all happening in one ear. And so, yeah, it was an adjustment. I mean, I was off balance for a long time. You know what I mean? And my first time on stage, I was at the Essence Festival, and literally I almost tripped twice. So I have vertigo and I'm deaf in my right ear. So I'm looking back, I can't really hear. I'm telling my guy, I'm pointing at my sound guy, like, turn the vocal up or turn that down. No, turn the vocal back down. Don't. I couldn't figure it out. Nobody else knew it, but in my mind, I'm like, am I off? Am I sharp? Am I flat? Like I couldn't tell. So it took a minute to find
That's a lot.
balance.
That's a lot.
Oh, it's a lot.
You gotta gain some weight so you be that fat dude on stage on the couch.
What's crazy is that I did gain weight.
You can't tell a fat dude you gain weight.
You gain weight? I feel like you've always just been quite the specimen physically.
That's what I showed you guys.
Oh,
yeah. But the medicine, I don't know if anybody knows anything about prednisone, very, very, very nasty steroid.
Yeah, it's a steroid,
right?
Yep.
And it was to help the nerves in my ear, but what it also does, it sends you into a depression, which I'm already depressed because I only got one ear now. I don't know what the hell I'm
So it just magnifies that.
Just magnifies that, and then I'm eating like 90 going north. Like I'm doing 60 milligrams of prednisone a day. I'm eating from sun up to sundown. Anybody knows me, I don't eat a lot of food.
Right.
And I have chronic reflux to go along with that. So I'm having to sleep sitting up. My stomach is out to here so that I won't throw up on myself.
You have to sleep sitting up every
I
night?
sleep sitting up every night.
Oh, man.
It was a process, man, and then trying to get back in shape, and it was one of the rare times where I was down mentally, physically, and spiritually.
That's rough.
You know what I mean? And it's been, this album has been all of that journey. It's been all of it.
A lot of that is in here.
A lot of that is in there. You know what I mean? And so now I'm in a place where I can say, yeah, I'm ready to make that transition, and I'm happy to make it.
So how did you climb out of the depression and get back spiritually where you want to be happy and create again?
Good people around me, man. My wife is, that's like my anchor, man.
Right.
She's just always there. You know what I'm saying? My wife is like what do you need every 5 minutes? What can I do? What do you need? What can I do? My guy Lulu, my guy Jay Valentine, just always in my ear, bro. You got it. You
gotta have that strong circle.
You know what I'm saying? My guy John Gaines, who started helping me build back physically. You know what I'm saying, and mentally. You know what I'm saying? Just saying you got to push. This is your tank. You know what I'm saying? It don't make
you're
no
a tank,
sense.
man.
You're tank.
Like you said, people love to see you with your shirt off.
People love to see the tits, so
Nah,
I can't.
hold on.
I can't let the people down. You know what I'm saying?
We don't like seeing that.
It's titties or songs. Yeah, it's fine.
Just surprise for the wife. Bring Tank out at the wedding on Saturday.
I don't want this nigga nowhere near my wedding. If I see, I might cry for the wrong reason. I'm here go this dude.
It's over. It's over before it started.
I'm just setting you up, man. I'm here to set you up to knock it down.
No, but I successfully, she like fat dudes now, so she like Rick Ross and DJ Khaled.
No.
She's got no choice.
There are levels.
She ain't got no choice now.
There are levels.
Because I've been trying to lose the same 100 pounds for like the last, I've been going to the gym 8 years
me and
straight.
James have been working with each other for about 1.5 years, and he's been working out every morning at 5 a.m. and he looks the same.
Matter of fact, I have a picture with you from 2013, and you haven't aged not a bit, and I keep aging. They say black don't crack, but what happened with me? I'm black.
I don't know if you've cracked.
He has.
Yeah.
He has.
It's not.
Some people have Tank and Dwight jeans, and some people have James
It's
jeans.
not the
and LeBron jeans.
It's not so much the work, bro. It's the intake. You got to manage the intake.
The diet.
Okay.
That's it.
That's what they've been telling me all this time,
bro.
It's like when they say it's 80% diet, 20% like working out. That's true, right?
1000%.
Yeah.
1000%. You can. There are diets where you don't have to work out at all.
What are those?
Yeah, what you do?
Yeah, what are those diets?
There are keto diets.
I'm on keto right now.
Yeah.
We talk about keto every day.
I'm down 25 pounds right now.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I also work out, but I
But you look like shit too, so.
Fuck you.
This is wild. There's keto. There's also a carb-free diet. You know what I mean? Where you supplement your carbs in other ways. Maybe Celsius energy drinks, that type of thing, and just rely on protein and veggies and let it burn that way. And then there's low calorie eating. You know what I mean? So that's when you eat more times a day but you keep
smaller
the calories
meals.
low, the smaller meals. Yeah.
Problem is
I
he
got all the
eats-
respect for you and everything, but I ain't listening to none of that shit.
And he also eats chocolate edibles every night. Every night he's fucking taking a weed brownie to the
Because
fucking
I can't go to
face.
sleep without the edibles.
You are wild.
You're an addict.
That has
like
that
8
kind of
o'clock.
connotation to it. You have to stop. It's you.
It's you, buddy.
It's
I try to blame the pandemic, the edibles. It's me.
it's you, man.
We're on the other side of the pandemic. You can stop.
We've been out the pandemic for a year, and I'm still
You're
gaining
still
weight.
operating as if we're in a pandemic. Listen, do you at the end of the day? You getting married
happy.
on Saturday, right?
Saturday, yeah.
Apparently, somebody's happy
Hey.
with you and your decisions.
Yeah.
Hey.
Don't
Somebody
fuck what
find me
he's saying.
sexy.
Don't worry about what he's
Yeah, he
saying.
can kiss my black ass. I tell him every day.
Tank, I want to talk to you about R&B because I feel like good R&B is still out there. But you know, when I was growing up, it was your era. It was 112. It was Drew Hill. It was. I mean, we can go on and on and on. By the way, I miss the R&B group. Dying art form for sure.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
The R&B group is something that I'm like, oh, shit, what's the R&B group? When I was a Jagged Edge, but I feel like there's very few people still making the R&B I was listening to when I was growing up at a high level. I think you're obviously somebody like that. I loved Ella Mae's album. What is your thoughts on just like the current state of R&B and like some of the more like, I guess, alternative R&B? Because some stuff that's considered R&B these days isn't really like what I would consider R&B, I guess. Does that make sense?
Of course, but you have to consider what the kids now that are doing R&B, what they grew up on. You know, they grew up in a very hip hop dominated society.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then not only that, they also had to live with rappers, I guess, abandoning just regular rap and doing all melody rap, right? And now they have to contend with rappers using melody and actually being emotional. You know what I'm saying? Their baby mamas is out of control.
Right,
It's
right,
all
right.
on the record. They got to shoot somebody, but then they got to go check on their baby mama. You know what I'm saying? Who's not acting right. You know what I'm saying? Who might have been seeing the guy they shot. You know, like it's all murky for us as male R&B singers. We grew up on Jodeci, Boys to Men,
Right.
Al B. Sure, New Edition, Bobby. That's what we grew up on. So that's what we emulated. That's what was mainstream. When you looked at the charts, that was topping the charts. And if you wanted to be somebody, you had to be like that.
Right.
When these kids look at the charts and they wanted to be somebody, all they saw were rappers.
It's like there's Future, there's Juice WRLD.
So the lane just got bigger. You got to do all these other
They're like,
things.
how do we fit into that?
Right.
And so it became more about incorporating the things that were winning, the aesthetic that looked to be the mainstream, in order to either fit in that space or just be seen, period. You know what I mean? And there weren't enough outlets that were willing to preserve the traditional nuance of R&B. They just weren't. You know, they weren't willing to take a ballot number one. They just weren't. You know what I mean? And so all of that got pushed to an urban AC kind of thing, which became all
Which is this new radio
adult
category.
Well, now it's R&B radio, right?
Right.
They're making the transition to make it younger, which it has become. But initially, it was an oldies kind of thing. It was oldies and some new
R&B.
R&B
Yeah.
sprinkled in here and there. You could only get one record off a year. You know what I mean? So our outlet was just that. They stopped having an R&B hour in the clubs. You know what I'm saying? The last hour where you could make a decision on who you was going, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Who he's going to tap in with. They stopped having that, so we lost clubs. You know what I'm saying? So we just started losing in so many different places that it's like, how do we fit in? How do we keep up?
Right.
We had to adapt their nuances,
Right.
and there slowly but surely we got away from what we grew up on, our traditional
And
R&B.
I want to shout out Money Long because she took a record to #1 at Urban and Rhythm, and that was a very traditional R&B record.
Very traditional and very awesome for the conversation,
Because I was like, yo, this is a real R&B record.
so that we can yell, kick and stomp and wave our flags and say, hey, it works.
Giveon
They
had
wanna hear
Heartbreak Anniversary was a slower record that did really well. He's got a crazy voice. But there's been a few records that have been cutting through.
It's like they'll give us one
right.
a year or one every 6 months, and we're like, yeah, that's cool, but you know, you give them 100. You give it. Where's the balance?
So with you retiring, do you feel comfortable leaving R&B where it's at right now? Or do you think it's in good hands?
No, I'm not leaving it to anybody. I'm going to recruit.
He's got his imprint.
You're right.
I'm going to recruit. So now it's time for me to go build the army of the songwriters and producers and artists who will fill the void. And it's about grabbing the ones that have the nuances that I grew up on.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm looking for wavy artists. You know what I'm saying? Who can tap in and do both, and who have the trap and all. I'm tapping into all of that. But I'm also looking for the R&B singer. That's a different one. The R&B singer has to actually be able to sing.
Right.
Also, shout out to
big.
like,
That
if you think about like today, like back in the day, and I say this because the New Division record is a great record. Produced by Jermaine Dupri, though.
JD Becox, absolutely.
So if you think of, 98, 99, there was like these like mainstays of like R&B production where it was like, and I feel like maybe the closest person to that's like crafting like dope hit records that have R&B vibes. I mean, I think Hitmaker's doing a pretty decent job at it. Like, but outside of like, I don't know if we have that Jermaine Dupri of like the new era.
In traditional R&B.
Right.
I mean, I do it for myself.
Like Mustard's done some dope shit for LMA, you know what I mean? But in terms of like...
Nothing traditional.
Right, but you hear what I'm saying? Like back in the day, we had
saying.
like, even like Diddy and the Hitmen were doing...
Absolutely. I do it for myself, but with the time, I need to be able to do it for other people.
Right.
You know what I mean? I produce and write that for myself because that's what I have time to do.
Right.
But now I have to, like you said, who's the go-to producer that can bring R&B, at least some of the nuances of traditional R&B into 2022, 2023. That's what I do, but I do it just for me.
Hey, we got to stop the interview real quick. Tell you about our good folks at Odd Socks. Listen, go to oddsocksofficial.com. They're presenting sponsor of the Bootleg Kev podcast. When you go on there, use the promo code BootlegKev, all one word together, BootlegKev. And you're going to get 20% off your entire Odd Socks order. They got all the crazy licenses, my G. They got the basics. They got the Twizzlers, the Warhead underwear. How about these? These are Godfather draws. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Bootleg Kev socks. We're going to be dropping some merch. And if you buy the merch, you get free socks. That's coming shortly. But yo, oddsocksofficial.com. The most comfortable socks in the world. The craziest licenses. They got some big ones coming down the pipeline I can't talk about. But they just did drop Doritos and fucking Cheetos and all that good shit. So listen, go to oddsocksofficial.com. Use the promo code BootlegKev. Save 20% off today. Go do that. Let's get back to the interview. Who are you a fan of, singer-wise, that you just obviously unaffiliated with you and your crew, but like just someone who you're just a fan of?
Singing-wise, an artist that can sing. I love Lucky Day. You gotta love Jasmine Sullivan.
She's amazing. Great album too.
You gotta love her. You gotta love Money Long. You gotta love Kevin Ross, who needs way more flowers, who needs way more looks. You gotta love even some of the unsigned acts who are out here going crazy. What's my guy? Avery Wilson. You know, if you listen to that guy sing, like he should really be on the radio, keeping the bar high, extremely high for vocal ability. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm listening to Beyonce. She's Beyonce.
Shout out to Beyonce.
Shout out to Beyonce.
Who's your R&B Mount Rushmore? If you had to choose the four,
Rushmore,
the Mount Rushmore of R&B.
Four of them.
Rushy Rush.
Yeah, who you got?
Wow, you want to go? Going deep early. Pause. That's where we're going.
By the way, I'd like to just point out the rules of this. Anything that happened in their personal life, out the window. Move forward.
I know where that disclaimer came from.
I just want to be clear that there's one slot that should be allocated for a really terrible guy, but he deserves to be up there. Art only.
Art only.
Okay.
This is an art room only.
So now with that being said, who is your Mount Rushmore of R&B?
Mount Rushmore of R&B.
You stupid.
Mount Rushmore of R&B. Marvin Gaye,
Okay.
Beyonce, Michael Jackson,
Okay. Just say his name.
I hate you.
Go ahead. Just say it.
Why are
This
you
is a setup
whispering?
question.
Why are you whispering?
You know.
You know,
You know who it is. Just go ahead. Just say it.
R. Kelly.
R. Kelly. There we go. God damn it.
Yeah.
Art only, obviously.
Yeah.
I still listen. It's crazy. It's crazy because I love R. Kelly so much. Obviously, his music. I love his
Right.
music. I'm a fucking hardcore R. Kelly fan.
Yeah.
I still get his shit off at the end of the night when I'm DJing, at the club, and nobody says shit. You drop that fucking bump and grind
I've
at
been
12:00 or
I've been in a
2:05
few
in the
clubs.
morning.
I've been in a bunch. No, I'm gonna say a few. A bunch of clubs.
They better play
recently
"Step in the
where-
Name of Love" at your fucking wedding on Saturday.
that was actually a question my DJ asked. Can we play R. Kelly? I said, yeah. We gonna be drinking. Ain't nobody picking sides at that time.
I think everybody, everybody wants to be right in this conversation,
Right.
And I think everybody should be left to operate or feel however they want to feel. You have so many people that believe, hey, I just love the music, and you're okay to believe that. You have some people that feel like, oh, the music is connected to all of these bad things. You're allowed to believe that.
Yeah, you
but
can believe what you want.
condemning
Either
each
side.
Other, either side.
We are so
That's
extreme
not the
right
move.
now.
That's
Like,
not the move.
Yeah.
We don't have to agree on something. and
We
be
don't
cool.
have to agree.
You can have completely different
that doesn't
views,
make me a
and
bad
and you
person
can be
because I
cool.
don't agree with you.
Exactly. Let's normalize having opinions again.
Just
That's
in
it.
everything in the
Everything.
world. Yeah. It's like, you like during the pandemic, you kind of took a stance. I wouldn't say like a stance, but you were very skeptical about some of the shit that was going on, and rightfully so. But I feel like a lot of people were on your fucking head about it earlier.
What's that?
You, like, just in terms of like the vaccinations and the masks and all
Oh,
that
well,
shit.
I mean, listen, it's again what I'm saying, right?
That's a perfect example.
And here's what's crazy. Like let's just speak a little bit. I mean, they're probably going to put the CDC sign, I guess, on the.
It's already there.
Now they've moved on to monkeypox.
The CDC. We're so
it's
done.
not the trend
And we're
of the
looking for
virus.
bumps now. Okay. We all of a sudden the CDC puts out a statement that says, "Oh, if you've had it, it's the equivalent of having gotten the vaccine. Your immunity is just as powerful." Really? You mean to tell me you, the almighty CDC, you just now figured that out? And when I said it back in the beginning of all of this, I was stupid. I was a conspiracy theorist. How dare you?
You can't have free
You
thought.
can't think that way. How dare you,
You
think
so ignorant.
people are dying?
Dumbass.
I said, I know.
But if I already got it, I'm immune.
People are also living
Yeah.
like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm more scared of the monkeypox than I was of COVID.
'Cause it's visual.
Yeah.
Monkeypox.
If you're out here
eczema
walking,
growing up.
if you're
I
out
ain't
here
trying to get
walking
that
around
again.
with monkeypox, you're fucking looking crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, the monkeypox, all the stuff I've seen on it, that's different. And I've had
I had chickenpox.
chickenpox before.
Yeah, when I was a kid,
And
yeah.
I was as a kid. I mean, that was different. This
Never got
monkeypox, like man,
They say
I'm the first one in line as soon as the vaccine. Here you go.
They say this.
I'm first.
They say this
you
couple.
getting a monkeypox vaccine?
and the first one.
You are out of
I'll
control.
get the Johnson
You're going
version.
to get a monkeypox vaccine.
I don't want to.
You'll survive if you get it.
Look, I get where you at, but I'm already big and sweaty all the time. I can't be big, sweaty with a bunch of bumps. So I gotta do this.
Yeah,
My
that is
brother.
true. Big sweaty guys with
Yeah.
bumps,
My
not
brother,
the move.
You do. Oh my God. You're not wrong. I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to feel safe.
It was the side before. I see. Oh, here goes this bullshit.
No, because I have to maintain my first statement. No one's wrong. You're not wrong.
You're not wrong, but you're tripping.
It's dangerous.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's
and it's
dangerous.
ugly, so that's why I'm not even care about the dangerous part.
Anything vaccine wise.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think they've just ruled out that how resilient we are as human beings.
Right.
They've kind of ruled that out. Now all of a sudden, our bodies and the things within our bodies are no longer science. Only the vaccines are.
Right.
Only the man-made things are. So I don't know, man. It's a tough conversation. Nobody's wrong. Do what makes you feel safe.
Exactly. Whatever that makes you happy.
I want to ask you, we're about 12 years or so into like what I consider like a nice renaissance in like R&B music becoming commercial again. And I'm talking about when Frank Ocean and The Weeknd came out. They very much kind of kicked off a wave of like influencing a whole new generation, doing R&B in their own way. Like at this point, like when you hear The Weeknd, who's obviously a fucking superstar, one of my favorite artists, but like, do you kind of put him in that R&B conversation at all? Or is he kind of like transcended R&B at this point? What do you like?
I think that the system has figured out a way to make very successful artists who sing separate from R&B or just the title for some reason, right? For all intents and purposes, Weeknd, Bruno Mars, Frank Ocean, these guys are R&B singers.
100%.
The fact that they're extremely popular, the fact that there may be a different kind of rhythm or more upbeat, or sonically it may be more universal to the world, right? The fact that it's that doesn't kill the fact that it's R&B music. Now we can add words to it. Okay, R&B pop.
Right.
Fine.
Whatever.
It's very popular R&B.
Right.
He's a very popular R&B artist, right? But if you ask these guys what they are and what they're doing,
R&B artists.
R&B artists. Like
so the sound ain't changed. The system has.
I talked to Justin when he made his when he was doing the 2020. He said, "Man, I was making an R&B album, and they just put me in a pop category." He said, "I'm an R&B artist."
Do you remember the Justin Bieber album? Journals that Pooh Bear produced and wrote the whole thing.
Absolutely. It was an R&B album.
To me, that's his best album, and it's a fucking traditional R&B album.
Crazy.
No one ever talks about that album, but it was like some straight R&B, like Justin Bieber.
Pooh Bear was in his bag.
In his bag for sure.
Vocally, kids sounded amazing.
I think that kind of what you said on Drink Champs is so true though. Like what you said about if a black artist does Stay With Me, like a Sam Smith record, it's not for whatever reason. Like I really like when you kind of articulated that, it was very accurate. It was like you like think of like a Louis Capaldi, you know what I mean, or some of these like pop ballads. If you did it, or if a traditional R&B artist did it, it's not going to get the same push, or it's not going to be pushed at pop radio.
We're not going to get the look.
Why do you think that is?
Because we're black. That's fine.
Yeah.
We're just not going to get the look. You aren't going to take my CD and into over there at the rhythmic station and say, "Hey man, I got this new Tank song, man. It just it doesn't really fit our demo."
Every excuse in the book, then, huh?
I don't.
And that kind of go like without even hearing the record. It's almost like what you said earlier with that new radio format.
Now listen, if I give them a bunch of bitches and hoes, now that's gonna make us some money.
I see what's going on.
Got it. That's gonna get us some money. You got anything like, I don't know, like the Migos or something, or like Little Baby?
Dude, you got Offset on a verse?
You got Offset on the verse?
Perfect.
That's more our demo.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can speak to many reasons why that is, but we know what we're up against.
Yeah. So
you know what I mean?
Are you still frustrated with it, or do you just find ways to overcome it?
I don't even think about it.
No, that's the best way to do
Do
it.
you you're on a mission?
I deal with the people that I can touch.
This album, you got Chris Breezy on the album.
Easy.
Shout out to Chris Breezy, Rotimi. Black Tuxedo is amazing. Jay Valentine, your partner on the R&B Money podcast. If I'm throwing this thing in,
Yeah.
give me the first. If I can only listen to one record, What's the one record I'm going to on this one? If you had to pick one.
You're only listening to one?
No, I'm just saying, like, let's say someone's listening, and this is the first time they've heard a Tank. They don't know who the fuck you are.
I printed a whole fucking
They're
CD
gonna open
for
up
you.
Spotify and they're gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna check this Tank guy out. What's the record? You know, your favorite today? Because I'm sure tomorrow it's gonna change, and maybe in an hour it's gonna change.
Absolutely. I'm glad you said that. When You Dance.
When You Dance. Okay. Track two.
Track two.
I'm just looking at some of these titles. Spoil Her Alert.
Yeah.
I like that.
How you spoil? How much? Like how do I spoil my future wife? What do I need to do?
Well, I mean, that's a conversation, right?
Right.
So
take her to a Tank concert.
That's all
No,
about.
that's the last place we going.
I'm telling you,
I'm
you
gonna go.
show up. I got you, man. It starts with communication,
Right.
right? And that's what's communicated to you. So you have to ask the right questions, right? And so in order to spoil your woman, you have to be meeting a need or the needs,
Right.
and you have to be able. You have to truly understand what those needs or that need is,
Right.
And
And
that
you can
comes
spoil
with
with time, and it doesn't have to be materialistic things.
it's what she requires.
There it go right there.
And for every woman, that's completely different. Like, I'm very inquisitive. So I like to ask a lot of questions. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Leading up to whatever, before whatever. I like to be well versed before anything takes place. You know what I'm saying? Before we sit down and eat a meal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Before we go somewhere to a theme park, you may hate roller coasters. Okay, we don't. That's not what we do.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You may hate water parks, but then that's not what we do. You love the beach, though. Oh, I can take you where some sand is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. Turkey sandwiches. I'll
Whatever
make you the best turkey sandwich you want.
She hates hard liquor but loves red wine. Got you. I'm a
Whatever
look
it
up the
is.
best red wines they have to offer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. She don't like to be pounded on. She like to be stroked slow.
There it go there.
Like, you got to ask these questions.
Every girl's different, like you said.
Every girl's different.
Don't treat it like it's one set up shop.
It's not one set of keys for every car.
There it go right. Oh, hey, that's the way to put it right there. That's
Come on,
the
man.
blood.
Come on, man.
Yo, being married, being so busy, you have so much going on. Give me some like advice, because I struggle with this in my marriage where I've just got like a million things happening. Work-life balance. Like when it comes to like home to work, like how do you make sure you always have the time carved out? And like what are those things, some tips you could give somebody who's just got a lot of shit going on but still wants to make sure that they're very, active at home with the kids and the wife?
Well, you gotta, it goes back to that conversation where, you both understand that something's gonna suffer. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be able to make everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or you're not going to be able to make this. You know what I'm saying? Which fuels, which provides.
Right.
And so within that, you there is no balance. Let's start there. But you do steal time. You do steal moments. Like me and my wife have this, Wednesday is date night.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we shoot the pod on Wednesday. Sometimes we shoot it on Tuesday. But if we shoot it on Wednesday, we'll do a 1 o'clock and a 5 o'clock session. And she's like, babe, you still want to do date night? I'm like, you damn right I want to do date night. You're not going to be on me at the end of the week and be like, you ain't even spend no time with a nigga. Like, no,
we doing this.
We
You don't
doing
care if you
this.
was up 72 hours.
You better
I'm going to this. I know that.
Line it
You
up.
gonna be up there like this, but you gonna be there.
You're gonna be there. And it's just stealing those moments or purposely taking that time. Like doing it on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Trying to plan ahead as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? There's always something that comes up. You know what I'm saying? Somebody call and be like this, we got 100,000 if you come on and do the thing. I'm like, babe, listen, I love the kids and I'd love to do art with them. But that 100K be calling.
It's better art
Like
for 100K.
Pookie. I could send them to art school with this 100K. So it's like, and those are conversations. You know what I'm saying? It's two of you. So that's where the teamwork comes in play.
Right.
Babe, I can't make it to this one. You got to be there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or, okay, babe, you know what? You take this one off. When you are there, you take that off. I'll take care of it. You take off today. You put your feet up. I'll do all the running around. It's just communication. There is no balance.
And that's the crazy thing. It took me forever to realize that we communicate differently. The way I communicate is differently than her. So I had to learn how to communicate with her and not just for myself.
Yeah.
So that's helped everything. So I appreciate that.
Very
that's some good advice.
detailed. Like women are very detailed in terms of communicating that thing, and we're very vague.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And nosy. Women are very nosy. I know the whole apartment complex business. Everybody.
Extremely. But I mean, women are built for information.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The
And they don't
FBI
forget
needs to stand
shit.
for 5 black women, and we'd be good. And we no problems.
The more information you provide, the better a woman can operate. Because a woman just wants to know. She can make any kind of choice from there.
Right.
Yep.
But the more information you give her, the easier she can make those adjustments. They're resilient like that.
Right.
Resilient like that.
What up? We got to stop the interview real quick to tell you about our good folks at Blue Chew. Don't forget, man, right now you can get a whole month of Blue Chew for free. That's right, fellas. You're dealing with that erectile dysfunction. Maybe you're under some stress, some anxiety. Maybe your man ain't working the way it's supposed to. Listen, Blue Chew got you. Same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but it goes straight to your doorstep in discreet packaging. No doctor's appointments where you got to go show up to the doctor's office and have some awkward conversation about why your cock ain't up to par, bud. No, sir. All online. Go to bluechew.com. Use the promo code BOOTLEG. That's bluechew.com. Promo code BOOTLEG. Use the promo code for me. It helps us out. All right, go do that. And tell me how your dick is. I'll take DMs. Just don't send me a picture of it because that will get you blocked, bud. Tank.
Appreciate that.
You obviously have had an illustrious career in which a lot of women enjoy you physically and musically.
Hallelujah. Wow, you just said the physical.
Can you give me a?
Let's talk about his wife. We had a lot of women enjoy you physically. What?
I don't mean you're out here fucking. I just mean.
Well, what do you mean? I mean, a lot of women.
I almost said you doing that.
A lot of women have tasted you in more ways than one.
You probably have had some
so you
wild.
fucked a bunch of women after we got done talking
Let's
about
like
marriage.
fan interactions, right?
Yeah,
Whether it's like a
yeah.
crazy person. What is the craziest like groupie situation? Like where maybe someone snuck into your hotel.
There was a woman in my room.
So what happens there? Tell us what city is this in? What's the details here? So you just show up to your room.
I don't want to say the city. Somewhere in Virginia.
Somewhere in Virginia. Well, that's not a big fucking state. So. Shout out to Norfolk.
Not a lot of places to go. But shout out to Norfolk.
Hey, but for the slow niggas, I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know where that's at.
And do not ask me how.
So you check into your room.
In my room. I go into my room after the show.
Okay.
So I'd already checked into the room. I go into my room after the show, and there's a woman that,
She's just in the room.
she's not just in the room.
She's naked.
She's naked.
She's ready
She
to
know
go.
one of the employees.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to have this moment with you. And I'm like, how the fuck you get in here? Like, what the fuck are you doing in here?
Did you kick her out? Is the real question.
After some time.
So you were like, I appreciate the
some
gesture.
time-
I'm gonna give you what you want, and then I'm gonna get you the fuck up out of here.
I just needed to communicate with her and understand how all this transpired. So once I got enough information from her,
Right,
then she was allowed
Information.
to leave without incident.
Information. I like that.
The information. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, I was just getting information, babe. What
I
you
was
talking
just
about?
gathering intel.
Gathering intel.
You said you like information, right? I wanted to get it
Yeah,
for
I
you.
wanted to
I ask questions for you, babe.
Yes, you get to know her and understand where she's coming from.
How are you enjoying? Because you've always been a great interview when you go on people's shows and shit. Like the podcasting side of things is obviously something that I feel like you're made for it.
Yes, sir.
Naturally, it's been great. Just from the rip. How are you enjoying doing the podcast?
I love it. And, I love what it represents more so than anything. It's an R&B space completely dedicated to R&B. And we get to talk it and relive it and give the game and share the information in a real way. And it's good being on the other side of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I've always wanted, again, to transition into that space. Like I've always felt like I was going to be, in radio in some way, shape, or form. And then the podcast thing kind of becomes a thing. And then I'm like, oh, there it is. You know what I'm saying? There's a way that we can do it and do it our way. And so it was just, the pandemic, was a blessing for us in disguise, because that's where we really started burning on the IG Live. Right. And it gave us a real sense, that we had something.
And content is king.
Content is king, right?
And it's recession proof.
Recession proof.
day.
And so we start doing it here in this space, and I'm like, let's just let's just do it for real. Like, let's call Jacob. Let's get the cameras up, and the people that'll come outside. Let's get them. And we get a guy named Jamie Foxx that decides he'll come outside, and we're rocking and rolling, and we're 10 in the can. And I heard says, "What you want to do?" I was like, "What you want to do?" You know what I'm saying? We ready. I'll show you. Doc, shout out to Doc Winters. And
come on now.
By the way, Doc Winters hates it when you say Doc Winters. It's Doc Winter. Just want to put that out because
this is my first time hearing this too.
DJ Khaled always say, "Yo, Doc Winters." It's Doc Winter.
Doc Winter.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I appreciate you right now.
No, he never corrected me.
Back in the day, they used to call it Joe Budden, Joe Buttons. You remember that?
Got you. Okay.
Still
okay.
do.
Never make that mistake again. And shout out to Doc Winter. And it just materialized from there. Black Effect, Charlamagne and all of that. And it just took off. And we saw that this is something that people didn't know they needed. And
it was a niche that, like, I'm surprised no one, like, how has there not been an R&B podcast this whole time?
Well, because what's the allure, right? Because if you're looking, at the mainstream and you were looking at the numbers, all the pods that were doing well were just not about R&B.
Right.
So people were doing more following than leading. And so I say, hey man, we're the leaders in this space. We're not has-beens who are going to talk about what we used to do. We are actually doing something right now. Like, we are very prevalent and relevant in this space. Who better than us to have this conversation?
Right.
And it made sense. And so,
yeah, you had Jamie Foxx on. Was he working on some new music? It's been so long.
Jamie Foxx is making a lot of money. Lot of money doing movies.
He just did the new movie with Snoop.
He's got the new one out. Is it Daylight?
Yeah, Daylight. It was good.
It was? Yeah.
I took an edible and watched it. It was hilarious.
I got to go see Daylight. I mean, Jamie can do anything. So
I always say raw talent, it's either Chris Brown or Jamie Foxx for the last, like, 25 years.
We talking about everything?
Just raw talent.
About everything?
Yeah.
I would give it to Jamie Foxx.
But Jamie can't dance like Chris. And Jamie can't paint a mural on the side of a house like Chris can. They each can do things that
you're right.
Jamie is probably the greatest entertainer of all time.
That's what I'm trying to say.
For sure.
I'm not mad at that.
But in terms of what you're saying, musically,
I just mean raw talent.
Space, raw talent.
Chris Brown can dance. He can paint.
Raw
he can
talent. Chris is an alien.
Foxx.
Chris is an alien.
Jamie can do stand up. He can sing his ass off. He can act.
And
I'll tell you this: Jamie can do ballet.
And he could do fucking ballet.
Jamie Foxx can do ballet. I've seen Jamie Foxx do like a I don't know what it's called.
What was the name of Jamie's first stand up? Was I might need security.
I might need security.
Oh, it's so good.
It's like Jamie.
I'm mad he ain't got no new ones coming out.
And the fucking R&B album, the first one, Unpredictable.
No, that's not the first one.
What was you did the one that had one.
That's the one that went crazy. But the first one was it had Infatuation on it. Just Infatuation. You remember that?
I don't remember.
Back in you were babies. You were babies. Yeah. He had an album before that.
I just remember Frenchie from the Jamie Foxx show was always in the Spank Bank when I was a kid. you remember Frenchie from the Jamie Foxx show? His
where?
girl. She was in the Spank,
Francie?
in the Francie, French, or whatever.
The girl in the hotel on the show.
Spank Bank. It's like
her name's Gabrielle. I forget her.
We all got a Spank Bank. When I was a kid, it was J-Lo. It was Vita Guerra. It was.
Oh, you mean in your Rolodex of thoughts that you would go through to find that place? I thought there was an actual Spank Bank where
like you have to drive. There were pictures. Like, what's the Uber? Can I get over there real quick? What's the address?
Where is the Spank Bank?
How much money can I pull out?
Yeah.
Because I was a porno connoisseur. When you say Spank Bank, like I would actually go and audit.
Connoisseur.
Yeah.
We're gonna end the interview with this.
You hit a hot spot.
Let's go right back.
See his eyes lit up. Let's
go right back. Let's go right back to the Mount Rushmore conversation. but let's move it. We got the R&B one sorted. Now let's go to the porno Mount Rushmore.
Oh, man,
who's the top 4 erotic cinema stars of all time?
You did this to yourself.
I did it to myself.
Yeah, he said he's a connoisseur.
Oh man, I've forgotten some of these names.
No, you haven't.
I have, honestly. I have.
Well, just to the ones you remember.
Oh man, back in the day, we gotta go with Heather Hunter.
Heather Hunter was the OG.
Heather Hunter.
I remember her.
Vanessa Del Rio.
Vanessa Del Rio, yeah.
Help really.
Heather Hunter was like one of the first like black women who popped like commercially in the porn.
Oh, so I probably seen her. I just didn't know her name.
Yeah. There was another young lady. She was just light skinned with green eyes. Had a different kind of name.
Green eyes, light skin. I'm like the early Bang Bus era.
What was her name? Obsession. Her name was Obsession.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Obsession was, she was serious. She was so
Serious.
serious. And then you got it. I mean, you kind of got to throw Jada Fire in there.
Jada Fire's a legend as well.
You fucked me up. I was so happy. I didn't know none of these people you were talking about until you said Jada Fire. I was about to say, babe, I didn't know any of them.
Yeah, you kind of got to go. You got to go Jada Fire in there.
You know that you're like a connoisseur when you run into the male porn stars in public and you're like, yeah,
I know you.
I used to hang out with Mr. Marcus.
Mr. Marcus, fucking legend.
Mr. Marcus.
Listen, I met Brian Pumper.
So I'll give you
No. I met Brian Pumper on the flight on his way to LA to try and be somebody.
Oh. Did he have his Brian Pumper jewels on?
This is how it starts.
Okay.
This story is hilarious. I'm on the plane flying from New York. The plane is pretty much empty. So I'm in a coach seat in the back, nobody around me. I got a full row. Everybody kind of like it's a full row. I'm laid back. I'm about to go to sleep. Brian Pumper was, I don't think he introduced, it wasn't Brian Pumper at the time, but nobody knew him. He wasn't anybody.
Right.
He's like, he comes over to my row. He's like, hey, man, I just wanted to say, man, big fan. You know what I'm saying? I love your music, man. Just want to introduce myself to you, man. I'm Brian, whatever his name was.
Right.
He's like, man, you know, I love your music, man. I'm actually going to LA myself to, you know, to try my hand at music. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, that's dope, man. Well, congratulations. And one thing about me, I'll talk to anybody.
Right.
I'll have a conversation with anybody. Like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so he's like, yeah, man, just trying to my hand at music. You know, I rap. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, you rap? He said, yeah, I rap. And I'm kind of trying to do the porno thing as well. I was like, yeah, get to it. Yeah, use your gifts. Right? And he was like, you know, but on my rap side, I feel like that, you know, there's something missing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that I could be part of a crew. I'm like, what crew do you think you're part of? He said, I feel like I can be part of Cash Money. And I looked at him. I was like, I don't think so. I don't think so. Like I was brutally honest.
His music was terrible.
I don't think so. He's like,
I'd say no.
He's like, I think I can. I said, what do you mean? He said, like, my name will be Bling Man. You know, I'm telling you the honest to God truth. I'm telling you honest to God. He said, my name is Bling Man, right? Like, you know how you got the Lil Wayne song. You know what I'm saying?
Bling.
Every time I come around that town, bling bling. I'll just adopt that, and that'll be me. Like, and I got some writing. You want to hear some of my hooks? I said, sure, Bling Man, right?
Sure,
I promise you, he runs off about 100 hooks, and I was honest with him, and I said, those are trash. Those are trashy hooks.
You let him say 100 hooks in person to you?
It's a flight. He's passing time.
It's a flight. I mean, we were talking, and I was like genuinely interested. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you Bling Man?
Bling Man.
Listen, it's a horrible idea.
That sounds like a WWF character.
But
from the late
sometimes
90s.
it works, right?
Yeah,
And so he's
Bling
playing me
Man.
one hook. I'm like, nope, that's not it. Why do you think? And he's arguing with me about why it'll work and why it should work. And then I'm like, bro, that's not it. Like, you need to take your time and do such and such. I'm like, if you really want, I say, and second, you can't wear fake jewelry. That's fake jewelry. You know it's fake?
The Brian
it's
Pumper
fake.
jewels, yeah.
I said, that's fake jewelry you have on.
How about this?
You can't do that.
2 years ago, me and my wife were going to a boba donut place. You know, they're all over the valley, the little donut spots, you know? I'm in line to get a fucking donut. Brian Pumper's in front of me. I tell my wife, I say, you know who that is? She said, nah. I was like, it's Brian Pumper. She's like, I was like, it's a male porn star. So then she realizes, who the fuck did I marry that knows what a male porn star
In public.
So I'm like, yo, Brian Pumper was good. You know, he had lugs on, fucking.
He's at Lux.
Yeah. So he gets his donut and shit. And I watch him walk outside of the donut spot and hop into a 2000 Nissan Sentra that looked like it had just gotten four-wheeling in the mud. And it looked like every possession in his entire life since he was 10 years old was stuffed into this fucking car. And I was like, oh, shit. Brian Pumper's down bad.
You know,
I think he was on to something, right? Because I feel like,
I mean, he turned out Lawrence Fishburne's daughter. You know what I mean?
But I feel like he was one of the first guys, at least black guys, to like be on some like independent
right
type, you know what I'm saying? Where like, I'm going to do my own thing, my own distribution, and create my own line and get my own girls.
He was ahead of his time.
He was really trying to, do this independent thing, and and I think like sometimes when you try to work against the system, you know what I'm saying? The system has a way of shutting you down. You know what I'm saying? And I think
he'd be thriving during OnlyFans times.
I think that
for sure.
Oh yeah, I think that AIDS thing that came out, that rumor that came out on him, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't think those things that happened
Ruined him and Pinky.
I don't think those
rumors.
I don't think those things that happen or those rumors getting out there. I don't think that's
on accident.
Oh no, no, I don't think it's accidental.
Well, listen,
man.
we got to wrap up because Dwight's about to have a fucking ulcer.
No, Dwight is fine. Okay, we don't have.
No, Dwight moved this seat six times to get your
This
eyes.
motherfucker is ANZ. He had to fight crackheads earlier. He's like, let's get the fuck out of here. We gotta go to the next place.
You can't smoke that by yourself. Give me some of that. Shit. Pass me that. Let me see if you got the right shit on you. Let me
Listen, the new album is out. R&B Money.
R&B Money, man. Listen, and I'm trying to educate people. Buy the album. Go to iTunes and buy the album.
Yes.
Unless you're going to stream these songs 2,550 times.
Yep.
I need you to buy the album. The number I just said is not a fake number. It's the real number. In order for it to count as one album sale for these 17 songs. It is a real number.
Yeah, if you really want to support the artist these days, you have to go buy it on iTunes.
Go buy it. We are thankful.
Or buy this. Where can you get this at? Like a CD. Like if someone was like, I want one of those.
Are we at Target and Walmart? Are we there? I think we might be there. But hit me in the DM. I have some. You too can be like this man.
And have a CD.
And have a physical.
Yep. I just gotta find a place to play it, but I'm gonna work on that later.
There's a Radio Shack down the street we can go.
Okay.
I think I have a CD player in my truck. I think the Cullinan has a CD player. I'm pretty sure it does.
Just a nice flex. I think the Cullinan's got a CD player. Got a Cullinan. Anyway, Hank, appreciate you.